That's right, folks. It is back. It is the Peter Files, and I am your host, Pete Villano. With me, as always, is...
Food Dog. Woof woof.
Now, it's been a few months since we've been on the air or had a show or whatever you want to call it.
On the web.
On the interwebs and doing our internet web thing and having people listen to us. So, thank you all for not forgetting about us, first of all. And I want to thank you because we are still getting listens even on the older episodes. But we are here. It is the holidays, and we are going to do our first holiday episode. We were going to do the 12 days of Christmas. Then it turned into like the 5 days of Christmas. And now we might do 2 or 3. It's funny when real life gets in your way and you can't really do the things you're trying to do around everything else. Because personally, I've been going through a lot lately, which makes things difficult to try to sit down for an hour and do a podcast. But I really wanted to do this one because I love Christmas movies. It's like one of my favorite things to do. So even when I worked for the other podcast, I wanted to do a whole Christmas thing, and it never happened because we didn't last that long. But I never got to that point. So tonight we will be doing a review of my favorite Christmas movie, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, and we actually have a Peter Files holiday contest that someone can actually win a prize.
Cool. And actually, the prize that we have going out for people who are, for the person who wins, is the pop vinyl, those wonderful little toys that you see everywhere nowadays of pop culture, and it just happens to feature both main characters of National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. We have the Clark Griswold, which is actually him wearing his little Santa outfit and holding a mug, the Wally World mug of an eggnog. And the other one is, of course, Cousin Eddie in his famous bathrobe and hat from the from his scene when he's on the...
From that great scene of the movie.
Yep. So two pop vinyls. Apparently they were just released this year, which is actually really cool. But for the contest winner, this will be your prize.
And we will once we have announced a winner, we will ask if you want us to autograph them as well, because it depends on if it's going to a collector who doesn't want them touched or someone who just wants them, and then we'll put our signatures on them. They still won't be worth anything, so whichever. But I mean, who cares? So let's get started. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation was released on December 1st, 1989. And I don't think I saw it in the theater, but I know I watched it almost nonstop when it came out on VHS. Because that's how long ago this movie came out, it was VHS.
Yep. And actually, when I was working at the video store, between around 1994, this was definitely one of the movies that we put on during the holiday season, which was just nonstop. And it's one of those ones that usually, I remember we put it on. We had maybe 3 or 4 copies in the store, and pretty much as soon as we put it in, by the time we got to the famous scene with Eddie, all 4 copies got rented out.
Now, was it a film that got rented all year long, or was it just during the holiday season where you would see it really move?
Mostly just during the holiday season. I mean, Just for laughs, I'd throw it into the video player just for
some shits and giggles.
Just for shits and giggles, and literally just have it play at various times throughout the year. But it was fun. People said, "Hey, you know what? I wouldn't mind watching a Christmas movie in May."
It's one of those things that you probably, you don't see it too often out of season on TBS or TNT. But, whenever it's on, I will stop and watch it, even though they cut the shit out of it.
Yeah, exactly.
On TV, because there's a lot of stuff that they can't play on TV.
Yeah.
So, it's probably the only movie that I've owned on VHS, DVD, and now Blu-ray, which I enjoyed the Blu-ray too. 2 nights ago, I sat and watched it and laughed my ass off, just like I was a kid again.
By the way, speaking of the Blu-ray, are there any new special features on it? That
There's no new special features. It's kind of like the Laserdisc copy of it, so it kind of just starts and then it goes to the menu, and then there's like
so it's the same special features that you had on either the DVD or the Laserdisc, and they're just rehashed.
And for the youngins who that don't know what a Laserdisc is, it was a DVD that was just the size of a record that no one wanted.
And in case you don't know what a record is, it's that piece it's that piece of vinyl that's about 12 inches in diameter.
Well, vinyls are coming back, so I mean, there's hipsters out there that know what's going on. So,
all right.
So I mean, Christmas Vacation was the third movie in the Vacation series. There was the original Vacation, then there was European Vacation, and then Christmas Vacation. Mm-hmm. And then they did Vegas Vacation was the last one. Mm-hmm. And then they just
did a whole new cast.
Yeah, they just did a whole new cast and the whole reboot of the franchise, if you will. Because I don't know if they're going to do any more. I saw the new one. The new one's actually pretty funny. Mm-hmm. But I mean, it's a lot of the same jokes and stuff, and it's like the same premise. They're going to Wally World. I mean, spoilers for a movie that's 30 years old. Like the original, it's a cross country trip to go to Wally World, and Wally World's closed, and then Chevy Chase shoots John Candy in the ass with a BB gun. So that's pretty much the whole premise of the movie right there. So you've seen it.
Yeah.
But it was, I think, the best of the series of the Vacation movies.
It definitely had probably some of the best laughs, just because of the fact that, and actually, I think the main reason why it became so popular because everybody can relate to a holiday movie. Especially like basically a family reunion with everybody, mm-hmm. and plus the fact that this is the third movie in the franchise, so all the characters have been established, and there is no need to reintroduce anybody.
No, they've used different Rusty and Audreys for each movie, but they're still technically the same characters.
Yeah, exactly.
But excuse me. No, I think it was real relatable to people because everyone tries to have that perfect Christmas and it never happens.
Exactly.
And that's always what I like about Christmas movies is the more chaotic they are, the more like real they are. Because no one ever has the perfect, what Hallmark Christmas or what's the painter guy, Norman Rockwell Christmas.
Yeah, exactly.
No one has that. Everything's full of chaos and everyone hates each other, but they're trying to get along for a few hours. Two sides of two different families come together who probably don't get along to begin with because, I didn't want you marrying my daughter, I didn't want you marrying my son type of deal. But it's like...
to quote another holiday movie, it's the time of year when you be the people you want to be.
Exactly. It's you get your cues from the movies and the feeling that you're supposed to have at this time of year, and then it's like it all goes to puppies. We're all human, and we're all going to blow up at some point. Mm-hmm. So the basic premise is it's Christmas Vacation. Clark Griswold is having a big family Christmas that he's always wanted to have. So his family's coming, his wife's family's coming. They got the kids, and they're all just kind of like weird people. They're not. None of them are normal in a sense. It
seems like the only real normal one is actually his wife.
She's always been like the normal one, though, throughout the series of the movies.
Yeah. She's been
even though her parents are insane, too, though, in that movie.
Exactly. Yeah. Her parents are insane. Clark's parents are insane. Gosh, it's like it's a crazy family. But then again, we all have crazy families in some way. But I think what makes it so relatable is just the fact is all the chaos that happens throughout.
And there are what's funny too is the people that are there's people in the movie who weren't famous that became famous later on in life. Mm-hmm. Like Johnny Galecki plays Rusty the son, mm-hmm. who obviously everybody knows from The Big Bang Theory, mm-hmm. and then Juliette Lewis, who was in Natural Born Killers and a million other things.
Yeah.
Then even the neighbor is
Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Yeah, obviously from Seinfeld. Mm-hmm. And then Aunt Bethany mm-hmm. was the woman who was the voice of
Betty
Boop in Olive Oil in the cartoons. Mm-hmm. So it's a weird mixture of like all of this old Hollywood royalty type of deal and newcomers mm-hmm. and stuff like that.
And of course Bill Hickey playing the grandfather.
Yeah.
But it was I thought it was really cool to bring multi-generational basically cast together, not just for their parts in the film, but also just multi-generational from all the various eras of Hollywood, mm-hmm. basically.
And it was directed by Jeremiah Chechik. There's no N there.
Oh, okay, Chechik.
And it was written by John Hughes, famous John Hughes of the 1980s teen movies, and it was real. I mean, it's interesting. It's kind of like what he does, but it's not what he was doing at the time, because this was in '89, and all his the Breakfast Club, 16 Candles, all that was like in the mid '80s. So this was a real departure because it was like a family film and it was a holiday film. It wasn't about teenage angst and love and nerds and dorks and automobiles and shit like that. So, so I mean, it was interesting to see that it was like written by John Hughes. To me, anyway. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I could be completely wrong. It's right up his wheelwell. I mean, I don't know, but it's like nonstop. It's like nonstop chaos. Even when they go get the Christmas tree at the beginning of the film, it's chaos. They go out miles from their home to go get a tree. They don't bring a saw, so they have to dig the damn thing up. The thing's like 20 feet tall, can't fit in the house. And
barely fits on the car.
Yeah, they had to dig it up and all this stuff. So I mean, I had a whole point that I was going to go to, and I totally lost it.
I mean, it has all the building blocks for what could be a perfect Christmas for Clark Griswold, but literally an entire domino effect happens from the get go. From the Christmas tree to his not getting the Christmas bonus on time, all that kind of stuff, and it basically just proves to be just a lot of fun, just to watch it all happen.
So, did you see the movie in the theater?
No, I did not. Actually, I saw it on video.
Was it the first time you saw it? Was it the movie store that you worked at? Or?
No, it wasn't at the movie store. I just remember renting it when it had come out. So basically, I watched it for the first time on video.
I remember. I don't even remember where I first saw it. All I know is that my folks had gotten it for me and my brother on VHS, and then the first year we had it, like it was a few years after the movie came out. I had seen it when it first came out, so I must have seen it somewhere. But it was Christmas vacation for school, so you're out of school for 2 weeks. I'm so used to getting up early. Even now, I still get up way too early on the weekends when I don't need to. But like that was my whole Christmas. That was my personal Christmas tradition. Was I'd get up early in the morning, go out to the living room, throw it on, and watch it. That was the first thing I did every morning for Christmas vacation. And I did this for a few years. I've probably seen the movie
couple hundred times at least,
probably close to 1,000 times, to be honest with you. Now that I'm so much, I mean, this was back in like the early 90s, so it's been like 20 years that I watch the movie every Christmas. It's like one of the movies I have to watch at some point during Christmas. But it's like, it's just weird to me. It's like at this point in my life, it's more like a nostalgia thing. It's like it's one of those standards you watch, kind of like how Christmas Story is on TBS for 24 hours.
Yeah.
Every year. And to me, it should be Christmas Vacation on for 24 hours every year, because I mean, A Christmas Story is good, but it's no Christmas Vacation.
Yeah.
So if you know nothing about the vacation movies, there's a character in it called Cousin Eddie, which is one of the figures we're giving away. And he is just this like hick, dumb,
country
yokel,
bumpkin
jackass who is dumber than shit, but happier than anybody you ever meet. And he always is like a constant thorn in Chevy Chase's character's side. So I don't know, I'm like jumping around here.
Cousin Eddie, he's that one family member that everybody likes and gets along with,
but is very happy when he leaves.
But you're even happier when he leaves. And plus the fact you can't help but feel sorry for him, because he has such a I would say open heart about everything. Just the fact that he sees the light at the end of the tunnel, but he doesn't know how dark the tunnel or how long the tunnel actually is.
So basically, he shows up in the movie, and
in his
RV that's like a rusted bucket piece of shit. And he just like, as soon as he gets there, it's like the chaos ensues, because he's got two kids that he's poor, they have no money, they're telling that Santa's not